As you can see from the oil on my dipstick, this oil is still a very good color. It probably has a couple thousand more kilometers of life left in it. However, I'm going to be busy for the next couple of weeks, and I'm not going to have time to change it later, so I'm going to change it now. The engine in the Nissan Micra only holds 3.5 liters of oil. When I buy oil, they only come in these 1 liter containers, or you can get a larger container, 4 liters or 4.4 liters. And that can make it a little difficult to figure out exactly how much oil. So what I'm going to do is I'll draw a black line with permanent marker right at the half mark.
The first thing we'll want to do is to drain the old motor oil from the engine. Now, it's best to do this while the engine's warm, but you don't want to do it while the engine's too hot. So let it cool down after you drive it a little bit. But while it's still a little bit warm, we'll get under the car. We don't need to jack it up or anything. We'll locate the oil pan. It's this black thing on the bottom of the engine. Very easy to find. And the drain bolt is right here on the back. And then you want a container in which to catch the oil to place under the drain bolt. I'd place it more towards this side of the drain bolt because when you open it, the oil is going to shoot out that way. That's just the direction that it's in. You can use it's a 14 millimeter socket that will fit that. But if you don't have a metric set, you can use a 9/16 socket. You can also use a regular box wrench or even an adjustable wrench in a pinch. So lefty loosey, righty tighty. And at the start, the oil's not going to come out right away. And so you can move the pan aside a little bit just so you can get your wrench in there, just to loosen it. Just get that first turn. Once you get that first turn out of the way, you can then use your fingers to take it out. I recommend wearing a blue nitrile glove while doing this because you will get some oil on your hands. It looks like that you got most of the oil out, and it slows down to a drip like this. You'll want to relocate this oil pan this oil catch pan here. Slide it more up towards the front so that this little drip will be caught by this edge of the pan because they're going to remove the oil filter, which is right here, and there's going to be some oil that comes out after we remove the oil filter. Now, I recommend wearing the blue nitrile glove again because oil will drip out the side as this is unscrewed. It may be tight to take off. In that case, you'll want to use an oil filter wrench. Okay, so we just slide that around, and I just use the wrench just to get it started. And then once it starts to turn, we'll just use our strength. Take it off the rest of the way, and it just comes right off. And there's the oil draining out of the filter. Okay, so now that the oil's drained out and we've removed the oil filter, we're going to prepare the new oil filter for installation. Let's take that out of the box. Set the box aside, we're going to need that for later. We'll peel the plastic wrap off of it. Okay, and now we're just about ready. Just one more step. We're going to open up a bottle of the new motor oil, and we're going to dip our finger in and get some oil on our finger, and we're going to rub it around the gasket. We're oiling the gasket. Okay. So now that we have the new oil filter prepared, we might as well go ahead and put that on. So we'll just line it up to where we had the old one taken off and make sure it goes on straight. It just screws on, very easy. Okay, and we don't use any tools to put it on. We only put this on hand tight. Now the instructions say 2/3 of a turn after making contact. So you could do that if you could use your wrench and turn it no more than 2/3 of a turn. So right now it's made contact, and I'm using my bare hand just because I want a good grip on it. So
that there is about a quarter turn. That there is almost a half. And we're almost 2/3. And we're actually past 2/3. I actually got, I think, a whole turn out of it, just hand tight.
Now the drain plug on the Nissan Micra uses something that's called a crush washer. Now you can see it here on the drain plug that I just removed. This is what the crush washers look like when they haven't been crushed. So what we want to do is remove this crush washer and then put this one on the same way that one came off. So essentially this there's a part that's wider than the other part. The narrower part that threads on would thread on like that. Now to get it off, I just use a utility knife like this and just very carefully come up around the edge and then work it free. Okay, so now that we've removed the old crush washer and put the new crush washer on our drain bolt, we'll just go ahead and thread that back into the oil pan. Okay, and then we'll just we'll put it in as far as we can with our fingers, and then that'll stop this bit of oil from dripping, and then we can just slide that out of our way. And then we'll just get our wrench, make sure we got it going in the right direction, and we'll tighten that on. Now because it's a crush washer, we don't have to tighten it really super tight. We only have to tighten it until the washer's been. Right now it's turning easy, but then once it stops turning easy, we're pretty much at the end there. The washer's been crushed. Yeah. The nice thing about the crush washer is it makes a nice perfect seal between the drain bolt and the oil pan, and it makes it so you don't have to put a whole lot of torque on it. Just enough that it's crushed is all that's required, and I think that's in. So the place where we fill the oil is right here. This is the oil filler cap. We'll just turn that counterclockwise and set that aside. And then I like to use a funnel when I'm adding new oil. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add our oil. Now what I like to do is I'll add 3 liters of oil, and then I'll start the car up and let it run for a few seconds and then shut it off. Okay, so I put 3 liters of oil in the engine. That should be enough for our initial start. We'll just set this aside. We'll leave the oil cap off for now, and we're just going to start it just for a second or two and then stop it. So we'll start it. Okay, sounds good, and then we'll stop it. Okay, and then now we can add our final half a liter of oil. Okay, now here's where that black line comes in handy. When you're adding it in, add a little at a time, and just look down through the neck, and you can see, if you hold it up to the light, where that line is. And just set it on a level surface, and then you'll be able to tell when you've used half of the liter of oil. And then you can save this for next time when you change the oil. So that's pretty much it. We'll just remove our funnel. And we'll go ahead and put the lid back on, the cap. Now you're going to want to check for leaks. Make sure that nothing's leaking out the bottom. There probably won't be, and that's it. We just changed the oil in our Nissan Micra. That was easy. In order to protect my warranty, I need proof that I have changed the oil at regular intervals. So what I do is I take the flap, the top lid that has the barcode on it. I can tear that off. And that's all I need, and then I write the mileage and the date, and then I keep this in my files. Every time I change the oil, I do the same thing, and I keep all of these, and then that's my proof that the oil is being changed on time, and that will protect my warranty. A good place to keep these is in the package that your owner's manual came in.
There's a empty pocket here. We'll just file them
Now,
in here.
when we're done with the oil change, we need to dispose of the used motor oil properly. And what I do is I pour the old motor oil back into the bottles that I used for the oil change. So I just use an old black funnel, and I fill these bottles back up, and then I'll take them to the proper disposal facility, which I'll show you another day in another YouTube video. Thanks for watching.